the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, December 19th. How will we top yesterday's action today in our sports betting calendar with tonight's big game between Alabama and Oklahoma? Let's get it started early here in college football. We've got a game just around the corner here at 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific. We'll kick it off here with the bowl action on Friday, rolling a couple of games before we get to the main event here tonight with the Myrtle Beach Bowl and the Gasparilla Bowl, and then another kind of bowl out there, at least not officially, but still a FBS playoff game tonight. But how is it going to top last night's game, fam? What a game! What a wild one we had in Seattle. The Seahawks stunned the Rams 38-37 in overtime, completing one of the most remarkable comebacks you'll ever see. Apparently, the Seahawks had never come back from a 15-plus point deficit ever in their history. I remember when that team was born in 1976. They were 171 and 171, I think the graphics said. Meanwhile, you got a Rams team that was like 332-1 when they've led by 50. I don't know that many games, but I think that's what it said. Just remarkable how that one unfolded. The Rams held a 30-14 lead with 9 minutes left, but Seattle started the comeback with Rashid Shaheed, my guy from Mount Carmel High School, 58-yard punt return for a touchdown, and then just something bizarre happened, right? Seattle had to cross the goal line basically 6 straight times to mount this comeback, right? A touchdown and a 2-point conversion, another touchdown and 2-point conversion, and eventually in overtime, another touchdown and yet another 2-point conversion. Just the MMA Jeff said they had less than 1% chance to come back in that game. So that's what the 12s will do for you. That's what the whole situation has unfolded. They needed this so bad to get this number one spot. We had talked about it, right? How is Seattle going to be able to go, especially with their last 2 games on the road this season, if they weren't in position here to win the division, if they were on the outside looking in, or I should say a wild card spot, right? They'd have to probably win 2 on the road to end the season, and then if they want to get to the Super Bowl, 3 more on the road. But that's the difference between, that's why that game was so important last night for Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a monster second half with 8 receptions for 96 yards, all after halftime. Stafford was sensational, 457 yards and 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua shook off a bunch of BS that's going on in his world for 12 receptions, 225 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Then he spouted off after the game at the officials, had to delete a social media post where he criticized the officials. This just a couple of days after he was in a live stream where he basically said that the officials were making calls just so they could get attention from their friends. He's going to face probably I would think the biggest fine ever for a professional athlete in terms of criticizing the officials, unless Roger Goodell's asleep at the wheel on this one. Uh, at least he skipped his funky dance out there and went for the baby shark or whatever that was. But the Rams outgained Seattle 581 to 415. The Seahawks take over first place in the NFC West with that incredible finish here on Thursday night. And let me say hello to folks in the chat. What did you guys think of the big game there last night? Hey, we did come through with the winner here on the morning steam yesterday. We did say go over in the big one with the Rams and Seattle. How about the bowl action there yesterday? There was one bowl game as well there last night with the Xbox Bowl. That gave us another thriller of sorts as Arkansas State held off Missouri State 34-28. It only got interesting after I started watching it a little bit after the NFL game there. Despite leading 24-7 at halftime, Arkansas State had to hold off Missouri State. Third down was probably where it went the best for Missouri State, who went 8 for 15 on third down, but Arkansas State was just 2 of 11. Rayner threw 288 yards and 3 touchdowns to keep the Red Wolves ahead. There was both teams had over 100 yards in penalties. Hey, we've got some steam going off here on our show this morning to get us rolling. How about San Diego and UC San Diego? Here's some steam to the over in this one. It was 156.5 with two of my favorites here, and up to 159 right now. That's a 2.5 point move already in this one with San Diego and UC San Diego. Two of the San Diego schools meeting there tonight. Also, just seconds ago, it was Eastern Michigan in their matchup with Akron. We're seeing some steam here to the under in this one with Eastern Michigan and Akron. It was 160.5, but right now we're seeing that steam coming in on the under here in this one, and this one has moved here to 158, so about a 2 point move or so, 2.5 point move to the under here with Eastern Michigan and Akron. We'll preview some of the college basketball here for tonight. I think I got 5 or 6 games to look at, also 5 games in the NBA, 5 games on the ice as well. So we've got a great show, great turnout here of games for Friday night. All right, and there was other action last night in the NBA and NHL. We did bring home a few winners here on the Morning Steam Show. With that big NBA card there last night, we did have some winners here, including did we have any winners there on the Morning Steam Show? It seemed like we went down to defeat on pretty much everything with a lot of these games there last night. Let me see here. Okay, I think we can find 1 or 2. How about the Lakers and the Jazz? Game total over there last night at 242. We also brought home a winner there with the Sacramento Kings, plus the points there against the Trailblazers. Couple winners there on the card, but few and far between there last night, it felt like, in the NBA. Meanwhile, also NHL last night. Did have a few winners here on the show as well. So we're going to get ready to go here and get the preview set. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat before I start spouting off here with any winners here. Let's see, Nick Handy here, Western Michigan, first half and full game. Bobby Mack is here as well. Greg is here. He says got some revenge tonight with the Seattle. Those were his winners last night there with Seattle and Phoenix. And Terrell says 80% of the games tonight will go under. That's a broad statement there from Terrell. He likes a lot of games under here tonight. Good morning to R. Thompson as well, NYC Bar. Good morning, Gooey. Here he says Kennesaw, Moneyline, Western Michigan. They couldn't keep up. Oh, they won't be able to keep up there in the action here today. We're going to preview some of it. Wine time is here this morning as well. Greg said the King should have won. VAR needs some pars for the early action here. Truth Teller in the chat. Hello to Truth. And Greg says the favorites will cover here on Friday. Yeah, some spectacular games last night. The Knicks here, we'll talk about them as well. All right. Hey, folks, you can get more picks from me here at winnable.com/Ramon. Check out my picks over at Winnable. I got a package of plays up right now in college basketball, a 5-pack you can get when you go to winnable.com/Ramon and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages over there, including that monthly pick. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network when you subscribe and use that promo code STEAM. You'll get some extra content from me each day. Usually send out some packages 30 to 60 minutes before game time in those other sports. I can only spend so much time with you here on the morning steam. By the time the games roll around, I want to get my best plays over at winnable.com/Ramon.
Steam play.
There's some steam coming in right now. Let's take a look-see and see what's going on. And got some steam here in college basketball in the game between Tulsa and Western Kentucky. Some steam to the under here in this one. Tulsa and Western Kentucky. It was 158.5. We're going all the way down here, probably to 156.5 right now between Tulsa and Western Kentucky. In fact, you can call it 156, about a 2-point move right there, 2.5-point move. Tulsa and Western Kentucky. We'll preview that one as well here on the morning steam. All right. All right. Yeah, last night we did have some winners here on the morning steam with our NHL picks here on Thursday night. It was a pretty big card there, of course. So lots of games and lots of winners, including Blackhawks and Canadiens game to go under. We also had the Kings yesterday to go under against the Lightning. Had a winner here on the show as well with
Major line move.
the Calgary Flames there, minus a goal against the Kraken. And let's see here. Also, late night here, we had, oh man. Okay, guess that was it with the NHL. Better pick some winners today. All right, let's get started here this morning. I'm going to get rolling with the picks and also want to hear from you in the chat. You can get those picks for free when you subscribe or when you comment in the chat, you guys. All you got to do is make a selection, say hello, type in a 1, whatever you want, and I'll include you in a contest. We have a drawing at the end of the show, and you can win 1 month of those selections from me. Check it out before you subscribe. Just use the promo code WINNER after I announce your name as the winner, and you get 1 month of plays over there. And then at the end of the month, you'll be charged for the next month unless you go ahead and cancel there, but you won't want to after getting my picks here at the Sports Money Network. All right. Let me get the last few salutations out of the way. Bo Jackson is here this morning as well. And Terrell says, I go under 80% of the time in college basketball. Oh, okay. Man, I should keep track of that type of stuff. What a game, says Bo, with that performance last night. D-Money is here as well. Good morning. Terrell's toying with the rest of the league, says regards to the Thunder there. Thank you, Gooey. Really appreciate you. And Trevor says, yeah, we're going to get ready with that college basketball. We got to get that first game going here on the show. Who knows? I might be on the under, actually. Cliff Floyd, hello. Good to see Cliff. Man, we'll get ready to go with this show. We better do that. We better do that. All right. And, yeah, we had a great time last night with Razor, with the guys as well. What a game, and we had a great time here. Okay. Getting ready to go here. Let's get the show on the road with our first game up. We're just going to go to those two early games first in college football as well. So let's take a look at those, and then we'll get right into the big game. Here we go. All right, college football action here this morning here in Las Vegas, and this morning on the East Coast, 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific here in this one, with the Myrtle Beach Bowl with Kennesaw State here taking on Western Michigan here on Friday at the Myrtle Beach Bowl. This will be the first ever bowl game for Kennesaw, taking on Western Michigan. Kennesaw has been a scrappy scrappy sort so far this year. They've won 10 of their last 11 games coming in. They're a dominant 7-1 against the spread in games with a single-digit spread. They have a veteran team that they return this year, particularly on defense. But they've surrendered kind of a lot of points here, really, of late, despite this great finish. Talking about Kennesaw, they've allowed 34 points or more in their last 3 games, or averaging 34 points or more allowed in their last 3 games. For the Broncos here, after an 0-3 start to the season, they've been on a tear, winning 9 of their last 10. They have a pretty strong game on the ground and a quarterback that can he's a dual threat quarterback, to say the least, here for the Broncos. They have a pretty stout ground game, averaging to over 283 yards rushing in the last 4 games overall coming in. Western Michigan a little bit stronger with their winning streak. Kennesaw with wins over Missouri State. Missouri State, Liberty, and Jacksonville State. Meanwhile, for Western Michigan, they've been on a roll here, beating the likes of Miami of Ohio to get that MAC title. So what do you think here in this one of Western Michigan, a 3-point favorite? Favorites are 4-1 here in the history of the Myrtle Beach Bowl, and Western Michigan was 6-1-1 against the spread as a favorite this year, but Kennesaw was 3-1 as an underdog this season. Kennesaw also 1-3 to the under as an underdog this season as well. They come in here, both teams 6-7 to the under overall. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. You know, Kennesaw has been a real good, feel-good story here, coming in with their first bowl game ever, and we already saw what Delaware did against Louisiana. But still, Western Michigan, I think this ground and pound here a little bit with Lowry, he can beat you with his arm or his legs, might be a little bit too much here for Odom and company. All right, here we go. Let's go to the chat. Kennesaw has to be able to stop this dual threat quarterback, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. Hello to Power Critter this morning. The Great is here. NYC Bar says Western Michigan. Oh, he's got the line right there. Thank you. Greg says Seattle was over 42. Then, last night in the big game there. Western Michigan over here gets us started with our Tomps. think that's Western Michigan for Power Critter. And what? We got wins down there in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. How about first half under here with these two? Yeah, and also, like Terrell says, I mean, you got Western Michigan here, kind of a stout ground game. They got a good offense, a good defense, period, talking about Western Michigan and that offense, 22nd in the country on the run. Not so proficient with their passing game, but that's where they kind of stand out. The run the ball, that defense. So I got Western Michigan here in this one. I'm not going to too crazy here. I'm going to take the lay the points here with Western Michigan. Action Jackson likes that kind of football. Robert here on the under in this one. Kennesaw will score 30 at least. Has anyone watched this offense? Well, I just said how hot they've been there, and again, kind of in the right role. This is the right role for them here, kind of going up against Western Michigan here, but I got to go with Western Michigan. I think in this one, I prefer the Broncos here with that role that they've been on. Lowry, just 6 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions, but you have a Broncos team here that has lost 4 of their last 5 bowls, but again, a first bowl ever here for Kennesaw. And these new teams, they might be just a little bit hungrier, but again, you got the MAC teams. They're pretty experienced when it comes to a lot of these bowl games, especially when the better MAC teams are coming in here. Favorites are 4-1 against the spread, as I said, in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. MAC teams are 2-0 against the spread and straight up in their 2 games against Conference USA this year. I'm going to take Western Michigan in this one. And that's the early start there at the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And next up, we've got the Gasparilla Bowl, one of your favorites here, as this one is in Tampa. So here in the matchup between Memphis and North Carolina State. North Carolina State comes in the 3.5 point favorite here in this one. This one is at 12:30. Let me get the time right on this one. 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific roll right into this one after that first game with Memphis and North Carolina State. A lot of moving parts here in this one, unlike the other game where pretty steady here with the personnel. But in this one, you have a Memphis team that's a little bit of a mess here for sure. Coming into this one, you got Coach Silverfield. He bolted for Arkansas, and now they're coming in here with 3 straight losses of the Memphis Tigers. The defense has been the problem here right now, as they've allowed 450 plus yards in 4 of their last 6 games overall. And you got an NC State team who finished strong, winning 3 of their last 4. They've got good experience on this team. I think they returned a good 15 starters before the season started. You got a good quarterback here who was settled in nicely. Talking about Bailey here, 2,800 yards through the air. He's got a good. They've got a decent running game led by Smothers, and they've got Anderson leading the passing game. Lewis, a pretty good job too for Memphis, but Memphis has actually won 4 straight bowls coming in, but NC State's lost 4 straight. And I think that might make them a little bit hungrier here, actually. Favorites in the Gasparilla Bowl are 5-2 in the last 7 years here. I think with Memphis's coaching situation kind of in flux and a defense that's currently a bit of a sieve, I think it's going to be a game that goes over here with Memphis and NC State. I'm going to take the over in this one at 56. Put the comma in there just for good measure. All right, there we go. I'm going to go over here in 56. I think both teams kind of struggle to stop the big play. I think you're going to see some big plays in this one. You got to, an offense like Memphis. They're very efficient in the red zone, good at uh, keeping the ball moving, putting the points on the board. They're in the top 20 in offensive scores here this season. Meanwhile, NC State also pretty solid in the red zone. You really have two teams that really do finish well once they get in, once they get into scoring position. So I think that's what you're going to see eventually. And I'm going over with Memphis and North Carolina State here on Friday. Let's hear from you in the chat in this one. And Var says, what about the under in that first game? Oh, the steam came in on the under in that one, Var. And let's see here. North Carolina State easy, says Greg. Trevor likes the over in that one. Here's a Var like an NC State. Robert likes NC State as well. Greg says the spread should be 7 at least. Memphis might get blown out because, we're seeing more and more of the teams that, seem to, quit on the postseason a little bit. And no wonder, some of the teams not taking, the postseason game because they're going to get blown out. Nobody wants that. You don't want to put your program at a disadvantage either. We're trying to find excuses for some of these teams that aren't going to their bowl games. Power Critter, NC State, Action Jackson does like Memphis. Terrell says NC State over team total, but they'll still clear that total. And Art Toms likes the over as well, and I do too. I think we see a big number here. If you think about it, you look at it, somewhere in the range of if NC State is able to do it, what do you think? Like, 34 to 28, 34-28, that'd get it in the 60s there. I think that could be the score there, something around there. All right, that's it for the Gasparilla Bowl. I think the Gasparilla Bowl will be around. That thing's been around like 5 years. That's old for bowl games now. They got, the new sponsors out there. They got them named after the company that makes your will. Just great for a sports bettor. Okay, and look at this. Bar said, look, this total was at 59. And it's actually dropped, huh? Yeah, opened to 58.5, 59 at some spots. Hey, here's some steam coming in Seattle and Washington here tonight in Seattle at the Climate Pledge Arena. We're seeing some steam to the under here with Seattle and Washington tonight. It was 147.5, but we're seeing that steam come in here with Seattle and Washington. And that total is dropped here right now to 148 there. That's not that significant, but I guess
Steam play.
Let me make sure we got it right here. Eastern Michigan has taken some steam. We already mentioned that steam that came in on the under in that game, and now Eastern Michigan has taken some steam here at plus 16 in the matchup against Akron. Like I said, we already kind of mentioned that one on the total here, and now we're seeing this one down to 15, a 1.5 move or so on Eastern Michigan. And, I'm sorry, so that Washington game, it was steam to the over, not the under there. Sorry about that, gang. Steam to the over at 147.5, and that's why we're seeing it up here right now between Seattle and Washington. That one has actually moved here to 149.5. 2-point move to the over there with Seattle and Washington tonight in Seattle. All right, they're going crazy here with the India and South Africa test match. All right, also we did have some steam to the over here in the matchup between Mississippi Valley and Florida State. Steam came in here on the over at 159, and we're seeing this one here quickly up to 162. Wow, that's a 4.5-point move to the over with Mississippi Valley State and Florida State here overnight. A big move to the over in that one. The steam just coming in here short time ago. We were talking some other wars in there. All right, let me get to the big game here now. Memphis is overrated, says Greg. He promises us that. North Carolina State played the harder schedule, says Greg. Western Michigan's going to drag the game, but MAC defense hasn't seen an offense like Kennesaw. Kennesaw, like I said, I mean, a newcomer here. All right, Memphis has no chance, says Greg. Okay, here we go. We got to get to the big game. These games are just sidebars.
Major line move.
Here we go with the college football playoff underway here tonight in Norman. As Alabama comes in here, the Sooners are a 1.5 point favorite, 1 point favorite maybe here, and for good reason maybe. They've kind of owned the series against Alabama, winning 5 of the last 6 meetings. I've been on Alabama kind of this year, maybe too much with those 3 losses at the beginning of the season. I've said, hey, I like Alabama at 10-1. If I'm looking to get involved with a team that can win the national championship, that wasn't maybe one of those favorite teams. Alabama was expected to be maybe a little bit down here a little bit with their changes going on with DeBoer trying to regrow this program, keep it up there with the greats. And you know what? I kind of get tired of them losing the big games, like the game against Oklahoma. I mean, Alabama probably outplayed them in that game. They did outplay them in that game statistically, and they still end up losing the game at home by 2 points. Now, like I said, they outstatted them for sure. I'm not no sour grapes here, but I'm just tired of Alabama not getting it done in those games when I've kind of looked for them to win those close games. So I know Alabama's a more popular team, it feels like, here in this one tonight with the handicappers and everything. But again, I just am growing a little too frustrated with Alabama right now, and I want to go with Oklahoma now at home here tonight with Mateer. The Sooners come in hot, winners of 4 straight, allowing just 16.8 points per game in those games. Of course, they won that game as a 6.5 point dog back in November, despite getting outgained in that one. They just find ways to win. They're 10-5 against the spread. Their last 15 as home favorites. I think they're still a favorite here, aren't they, tonight? By a point, like I said, point and a half. It hasn't moved yet back the other way. So maybe you just want to throw that out, though, as far as a total chalk is concerned. But for Alabama, DeBoer, he's kind of a wizard when it comes to being an underdog, 6-2 in his career as a coach in this spot. But again, just getting 1.5 here. The Tide's offense, to me, is sputtered in big moments, and they'll have to come through here on the road if they're going to get it done. They've been held to 21 points or fewer in all 3 of their losses, and with a total of 41, it's going to take 21 or more for Alabama. Can they get there against Oklahoma here tonight? When you figure if you figure anyway as well with their offense with Simpson, who to me is a more disappointing guy. Mateer's had the injuries and might still not be totally 100% for sure here, but 9 of Alabama's last 10 have gone under. The Sooners have gone under in 9 of their last 11 games in Division I games. And man, this seems like it's going to be a bit of a grind here, it feels like to me. Oklahoma has been a turnover machine, or forcing turnovers anyway, in their matchups with Alabama. Plus 13 in their recent series games with the Sooners. So look, both teams kind of veteran offensive lines up front, but for me in this one, I'm taking the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm going back. I'm going to them now. Like I said, just if Alabama was at home, I'd be on Alabama probably. I'm going to take Oklahoma here in this one. Let's hear from you guys in the chat here in the big for tomorrow. We got 3 more great games, not to mention the FCS games tomorrow. So let's hear from you guys in the chat. Bama coming in here 10-3, obviously coming in off the loss to Georgia when they couldn't get anything going with that offense. OU, meanwhile, 4-game winning streak, wins over Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. Yeah, they didn't cover in that LSU game, but Bama just 1-2-2 against the spread on the road here. Oklahoma 5-2 against the spread as a favorite. Let's hear from you guys in the chat in the big game here tonight. Bars on Oklahoma, Roberts on the under. Also here, OU -1. Take it. And Greg likes Mature as well. I like Mature in this matchup. To me, it may be the actual difference finally in the game. I know that a lot of people like Simpson, and going to continue to grow here. But our Tom's on the under. Hey, Ronnie Wilson in the chat. Nice to see you, Ronnie. Says NC State and the under. Thank you, Ronnie. Good to have you. Alabama money line. People, let's see, 9 Legacy says Alabama money line, contrary to the pro believe. A lot of people are thinking OU. He likes Bama under here for Bar. And Power Critter says the Oklahoma kicker is the difference in this one. All right, and Greg likes that home cooking. Can't wait tonight. Maybe this is the, maybe not the worst game of the 4, but good one to have here on Friday night. So looking forward to the great games this weekend. All right, a few more here maybe. We got, there's Justin in the chat. Hello. Bar says Oklahoma and the under. All right. Thanks a lot for that, you guys. That's a look at the football here tonight. Let's have a little action, shall we, in the NBA. Get it going. 5 games in the NBA I'm going to look at here. And here we go. All right. The Miami Heat will take on the Boston Celtics. Celtics favored here by 6.5, and the total 232 here in this one to get it going on our NBA card tonight. For Miami here, they come in off of a win. They were on a losing streak, but finally picked up a win to snap that losing skid. It was a 106-95 victory over Brooklyn on the road. They did cover in that one for Boston. Meanwhile, they've lost a couple in a row to Milwaukee and Detroit here in this one, but still a considerable favorite here of -6.5 here in this one. Boston's 10-4 straight up and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10, while Miami has struggled here a bit. 1-5 straight up in their last 6. They've also lost 6 of their last 7 to Boston. Coming into this one, you do have Tyler Hero. He's currently out. We're seeing the total here drop dramatically in the last several minutes. In fact, down to 231 here right now. That's the way this one's kind of been moving all night. I show it opening as high as 234 in this matchup. So historically, 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and Miami's gone 0-6 to the under in 6 straight games. I know the Sharps are kind of feels like maybe they're on the over here, but man, hard to fathom here because Miami's had these unders here right now, and you do have Hero likely missing here. He's
Major
questionable with a toe injury still, and Jovic is out in this one. So I think I gotta go under here with Miami and Boston. Give me the under here. This one I think is moving lower here for a reason, and I gotta go under. I like this one a lot, actually. Uh, Maybe even a freemium here. I'm gonna go under with Miami and Boston. All right, let's see if you guys are with me here. Hey, High Tide says chosen one. Bar likes the Heat. And Power Critter says the NBA's been kind of tough. Nunya, so great to have you here, and prayers up to you and your family. Please take care, and prayers up for you and your dad there, Nunya. You mean a lot to us. So please take care, and we'll say a prayer. Greg says here, Boston to win this one. Fernando on the under here. Thank you guys all chiming in. The Power does a lot to help folks through those tough times, and that's what they do here in the sports betting community. All right. Greg says Hero's been out, half the year, right? He's missed a lot of games, and a lot of people that say addition by subtraction when it comes to Hero. He could be in trouble here. They could be in trouble here offensively, big time. Norman Powell is in the game reportedly, so that's good news here. He's going to be playing here. He was on the injury list a little bit. I'm going under for sure. I like the under in this one. 76ers and the Knicks here, NBA action for Friday night. Got the Knicks here favored now, and the Knicks, I mean, look, this line has gone down considerably to 4.5, maybe even 4 here right now. Total has dropped to 228.5. I mean, if you're the Knicks, you got to be just totally tired here, I would think, at this point. I mean, you won that NBA Cup. Then you came in and played Indiana last night. It took, all that effort just to get by Indiana on that last second shot. And now you got to go on the road or home, but you're coming in on a back-to-back. Meanwhile, the Sixers have pretty much had 4 days off. Yeah, the Sixers have been up and down here most of the season, but no, they don't have an awful record. I mean, they're 14-11 overall. The one thing is they are 3-10 as an underdog straight up, and the Knicks are 19-5 straight up as a favorite. But the Philadelphia 76ers can neutralize what advantage the Knicks have had here at home. Look, the move is to Philadelphia, clearly. The Knicks are the incredible home spread team, 14-1 against the spread this season. But the Sixers are 8-1-1 on the road against the spread. So while this has been an incredible dominance by the Knicks, covering all these all these numbers at home, they are countered here with one of the best spread teams on the road in the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Sixers are extremely well rested in comparison to the Knicks. As hot as the Knicks have been, and as good of a story it's been right now, because they've been smoking here at this point. I think it's 7 in a row now again here, straight up and against the spread at home. So and they score too. There's a little bit of steam real quick, if I may, on Tulsa here, taking the steam against Western Kentucky. Tulsa was a 2-point favorite, but now Tulsa taking the steam, and they're up to a 3.5-point favorite here with Tulsa over Western Kentucky. Tulsa taking that steam. All right. So let me continue, though, here with Philly and the Knicks. The Knicks are 9-6 to the over at home. Philly's 6-4 to the over on the road here. Knicks have gone over in 4 of their last 6. Now, Philadelphia has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, but just feels like the pace of New York at home in some of these games, what they've been on this roll right now, 3 straight games have gone over here. Let me hear from you in the chat in this one with the game tonight here, Philadelphia and the Knicks. Let me go to the chat before I make my pick. Here we go, folks. Justin here, he likes the 76ers to go over. And prayers up also to Bar. Man, everyone take care here this holiday season. Stay close to your fam. All right, Knicks retired, played yesterday, says Greg. 116, 113. Bobby Mack likes the Sixers here. Terrell says Powell over in his points. Bar likes the under in this one. And D Money likes the over here with these two. All right. Yeah, and for me here in this one between Philadelphia and New York, I'm going to go with the Sixers here actually in this one. Give me the Sixers here. I'm going to go with you guys a little bit. Give me Philadelphia plus the points in this one. All right, Ken Mizrahi says, who is doing this to the... Well, you know what, Ken? Maybe they shouldn't have went to that championship game. They would have had a little more time off. But again, maybe that was the problem with that tournament, right? And Greg says Sixers going to win this game. They might get this one, right? I mean, you got to consider, maybe you got to say, hey, what about, Embiid here, he's questionable, but Maxi's back in tonight. Cat is questionable, and with Cat, you got to figure he's been so durable to a certain extent, right? I mean, played in 24 of the 27 games, but he's a player you got to give him some rest here. Possibly Josh Hart questionable. Shamit's been out here for a week as well. I'm going to take the Sixers. Here we go. Nunya says he wants Kennesaw there with their QB, and he's been great. Terrell says Knicks here cool off after the Cup victory, grinding out that win last night. Yeah, I mean, you got to think, right? All right, here we go. Next up, Bulls and Cavs in this one. You got the Cavaliers. Man, that's like the second day in a row I think I've spelled the Cavaliers wrong.
Major line move.
There we go. The Cavs have been on the move here at up to 7.5 here right now. Open close to 6.5. Cavs are 15-13 this season, but they've lost 2 in a row. And we know the Cavs have been a money burner for sure. Despite a 15-13 record straight up, they're 8-20 against the spread, 4-12 against the spread at home, 7-18 against the spread as a favorite. I mean, the classic case of they win by just enough and don't cover. Overrated here, possibly. You could say that they are when you see something like that. The Bulls, meanwhile, we know they've been on a gross downswing here after that great start to the season. They've fallen now to 11-15 overall, just 4-9 straight up on the road. But interestingly, the Bulls are 9-3 against the spread as an underdog. So still maybe a hard trying outfit. They just covered in the game, obviously, against Cleveland, getting the win at home, 127-111. Look, there's no cutting around it. I mean, Bulls, the only team they beat here besides that win against Cleveland, which was a surprise, was the Hornets. But again, this is where the Cleveland Cavaliers struggle to get the money, and this spread is on the rise. So let's see what you guys have here in this one with Cleveland here against the Bulls. Both teams, they just played the other night, and the Bulls shut them down. So I don't know if the Cavs are going to be able to get the money. Cleveland's slightly better historically versus Chicago, but 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games overall. But Chicago very weak, 3-10 against the spread the last 13 overall. So you got to take that into consideration. Both teams trend heavily, it looks like, to the under lately. But 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two, though, have gone over. I don't know. That's a big number. That's a big total there. I'm taking the Bulls here. The steam came in on the Bulls and it still went up to 7.5. Give me the Bulls here against the Cavs. Maybe it's Cavs revenge time, but they still just don't. They don't get the cover. They usually get the win. They do not cover. So I'm going to take the Bulls. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys like here. All right, hello to David247. Will Western Michigan win, says David. Robert's on the Cavs here. He will lay it. And Greg says Chicago's going to step up for this, but he still likes Cleveland to cover the spread slightly. The Bulls
Major
here
line
for
move.
VAR. And Greg says it will be Cleveland by 7 at least. D-Money says Chicago plus the points. Got a steam move here right now. Florida A&M in their game against Tarleton. Man, this one's going under. Full disclosure, the package that I sent out is on the over. So, well, I'm not getting any CLB in this one. But unless you waited, but maybe not. Florida A&M and Tarleton, it's down to 147.5. 2.5 point move to the under, and I went over in that one. Wow. Whoop. Hey. Sometimes it goes the other way on me. Not just playing the steam moves here. All right. Let's see here. Maybe an over for Fernando there. Greg's got his prediction. There it is, right on the number there pretty much. Maybe that's an over, though, for Greg. Terrell says Chicago as well. And no doubt, the injury to Mobley here right now. You guys know I'm a Mobley fan. He's out indefinitely. Spider is questionable. Merrill's been out here for the Bulls. Pretty clean report. Dosunmu, he's questionable. Jones, questionable. But, I'm going to roll there with the Bulls tonight. All right. You're going to play the field goal props in college football. And the Cavs, they're having trouble covering the spread. Last time was against the Spurs there, Robert says. All right. Next up, the Spurs. Spurs taking on the Hawks here in this one. You got the Spurs, 2-point favorite in this one on the road. But call it 3 now. Spurs will get taking a little bit of attention here. The total has dropped here to 240. Seems like a pretty solid move to the under there for sure. San Antonio comes in here 19-7. They come in here off of a win last time out against Washington. They clobbered them and beat them by 25 as a 15.5 point favorite. Spurs have won and covered 3 of their last 4. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Atlanta, meanwhile, has failed to cover in 3 straight, going 1-2 straight up in that span. San Antonio 14-11 against the spread this season. Meanwhile, Atlanta just 4-7 against the spread at home. Coming into this one. So look, the Spurs are still that team, it feels like to me, while Atlanta, they've been all right here. I mean, they're 15-13 straight up. They continue to be pretty competitive, but not great at home. They're 9-5 though as an underdog. Let's see how you guys have this one. Both teams are trending over here, but I don't know. I mean, that just seemed like a pretty high total there at 240. That's already gone down 2 points. Spurs are 10-5 against the spread, and also 4-2 against the spread against Atlanta. Atlanta's just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games. I'm going to take the Spurs here on the road and lay 3 points against Atlanta here on Friday night. Spurs have won the last 3 meetings here, covering 2 of them. They've had some pretty high scores for sure, but man, you see the move to the under. It just feels like, especially if Spider doesn't make this lineup, I know we're going to have to wait it out, but if they don't have Mitchell and Mobley, I mean, that's basically 50 points of offense that they've got to replace in the lineup here tonight. So I'm going to take the Spurs here in this one. Let's see how you guys have it in the chat. All right, Chicago's getting good and getting the points. Not getting enough, says Greg. Nunya says, he's talking about those field goal props there. Bulls are one of the best dog teams, says Terrell. Greg's got one. I'm behind you guys. Oh, there we go. There's an Atlanta pick. Greg says 120 to 118. Robert's on the under here. Justin likes Atlanta's team total over. Greg likes the revenge factor here between these two. They just met on November 25th, and it was 135 to 126. The Spurs clobbered them at home. Spurs are still a beast, says D Money. And Justin says, yeah, oh, yeah, sorry about that, Justin. Well, I think I just got confused because we were having so much chat in there, I guess, on the Bulls game still. That's my excuse. KP is out for Atlanta there. Maybe I'm I went out and played the new poker room yesterday here in town, maybe for a few hours, and maybe I'm just a little tired. All right, Fernando says Hawks team total under here in this one. I'm going with the Spurs. Make no mistake. All right, next up here, the Thunder taking on the Timberwolves. Got the Thunder here on the road up to 8, and this total up to 230.5. I didn't see this one coming, man. I guess I get it, but I'm not so sure. Let's see what you got here in this one. Man, it's even up to 231 here now at some spots. 231.5 just to the over at DraftKings. All right. Well, I'm sure a lot would have to do with Anthony Edwards probably going to play then tonight if this total's going up. He was questionable coming in. Conley is out for Minnesota. Forward Jalen Williams questionable for Oklahoma City here. But, man, they're up to an 8-point favorite. That total has really gone up. Like I said, I don't know if I saw that coming. I might have to go against that move actually here. Oklahoma City, of course, has been dominant, winning 17 of their last 18 games. They've gone 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. I think they should be able to handle Minnesota, but Minnesota's 2-8 to the under at home recently, and I don't know. That's kind of the way that I was looking more in this one. I might have to take the under here between these two. Yeah, Oklahoma City's 15-12 to the over as a favorite here, but I don't know. Minnesota's gone under in each of their last 2 games and 4 of their last 5 overall right now. OKC, they did go under in that game against San Antonio in the NBA Cup before, they did go over in that Clipper game by half a point, but it was still only 223. I know those Clipper games, do kind of trend under a little bit. I'm going to go under. This thing's gone up. I think there's more value here now in the under. I'm going under tonight with Oklahoma City and Minnesota. Give me the under here in this one. I'll hear from you in the chat, and we'll move on to some college basketball tonight. Here we go. All right. Justin's on the Timberwolves here, plus the points at home. Var's on the Thunder. Greg here, I think he likes the Timberwolves there, it looks like, and the over. Fernando likes the over. And Greg says, with the Thunder playing there yesterday against the Clippers at home and now having to travel up to Minnesota, maybe that's an issue. Robert likes the Timberwolves plus the points. And Greg says the Thunder will win, but Minnesota will cover. All right. Great job, you guys, with that NBA. I got some college basketball. We got to get to this because we've got an early game here in college hoops. That's worth talking about. Well, at least I want to cover it. An early game tonight, this morning. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready. All right, it's going to be Dartmouth and Sacred Heart. College basketball action here. Early start, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific with Dartmouth. I think Dartmouth is favored now. We got to flip-flop this. And these I only typed in here a few hours ago when we started getting up prepping for the show. So since then it's moved. You got Dartmouth here, minus 1.5. Total 153.5. The total's gone down big time. We did talk about that widely reported steam that did come in. This one was as high as 157.5. We've seen a 4-point move here in this one between Dartmouth and Sacred Heart. Dartmouth has won 2 in a row with the wins and covers over BU and Holy Cross. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart here, they come in off of a loss to Lowell here in this one, but they did beat New Jersey Institute of Technology by 16 points as a 6.5-point favorite. They got rocked by Iona at home as a 1.5-point favorite. They did win against Mount St. Mary's 87-80. So Dartmouth is 3-2 against the spread on the road. Let's see how you guys have this one. This one's coming up here in about 40 minutes to get our sports betting day going, along with the football. Yeah, you got one football game to watch and a little college basketball to keep you interested as well. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat in this one. And I might go with a parlay in the first game. I like to do that. Anyways, Dartmouth has gone over in 5 straight on the road, or 4 of their last 5, maybe. They've gone mostly over on the road so far. Sacred Heart tends to go over when they've played Ivy League opponents recently, but I don't think I got to go with the move. I think here in this one, I can't trust the trends here. This seems like a pretty solid move to the under with that widely reported steam. I'm going to take Dartmouth in this one. Give me Dartmouth here. Dartmouth's 4-2 against the spread in their last 6. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. I'm just going to take Dartmouth. I'm going to hold off on that total. I might bet it if you know what I mean, but let me go with Dartmouth here as my official pick. And I'm going to dial it back on that total. Dartmouth won last year 81-76 as a 3-point favorite at home, but the previous season, Sacred Heart won at home 67-57. This has been a home-dominated series, but I'm going to take Dartmouth here. I think they're the better club right now. Give me Dartmouth here in this one. They're 5-5 coming in. Seton Hall, Sacred Heart is 0-5 straight up as an underdog. They are a favorite now, however. They're 4-2 so far as a favorite, but I'm going to take Dartmouth. All right, and let's see if you guys have this one here. Let me roll it out. Sorry about that. Didn't have the graphic up. Okay, it's Justin, though, does like Sacred Heart. Greg says Dartmouth will win. Justin also took Kennesaw here, and he took Memphis. Thank you, Justin, for your football. Robert says go under in this one with Dartmouth and Sacred Heart. I kind of want to, but, man, it's been a big move, so I'm just going to go with the side right now. I have no problem chasing a little bit. Okay. Next up, we go to the Milwaukee basketball event here, and South Dakota State taking on Wisconsin-Milwaukee. This one's at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific time here with Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Maybe just a slight favorite here by 1 point or so. No, in fact, South Dakota's a favorite now. All right. Let me pull the old switcheroo. Got South Dakota State here, 1.5. And the total, man, this one's dropped big time. 148, is that right? Wow. Big move here to the under. This is like a 5-point move. Did I miss the steam on this one? Between South Dakota State and Wisconsin-Milwaukee? Yeah. I mean, it was 153 here right now. Oh man, that's a big old move. See what you guys have, if anything, in this one. This one's being played at the Fiserv Arena in Milwaukee here. So South Dakota State is on the road here in this one. And so far, Milwaukee 4-6 straight up, South Dakota 7-6 straight up. Both teams have been alternating wins and losses here. Milwaukee is a dismal 2-7 against the spread so far this season, 1-3 against the spread at home. South Dakota comes in 3-2 as an away dog here this season. But let's see how you guys have it in this one with South Dakota State and Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Afternoon action here, 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 Pacific time. Both teams have been trending under recently, but man, this is a fierce move. South Dakota State's 1-4 to the under on the road. Milwaukee is 5-4 to the over overall here. I know that is a serious move, but I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say it's gone just a little bit too far for me. I'm going over now with South Dakota State and Wisconsin, Milwaukee. South Dakota State's pretty decent on offense here this season. Top 65 in scoring. Here's a steam move right now. Morgan State and California. We're seeing some steam to the under here in this one with Morgan State and Cal. It was 152, but we're seeing it move here pretty heavily to the under right now. And currently, Morgan State and Cal is down to 148.5. That's a 3.5 point move. Some big time moves here in college basketball early on. And that steam coming in on the under with Morgan State and Cal. All right. Let's see here. So in this one, I'm going to go over. I think that's a pretty big move, man. Give me the over one. I call it 148 there. I'll take the over in this one. See what you guys have in the chat. If you guys got the CLB on that one, then that's fine too. Terrell says first quarter under, the first half under, and first half in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. He's going to go with a little dual starting time action there. Bars on Milwaukee. Here's Justin on Milwaukee. Maybe I should have just went with Milwaukee. Look, Roberts on Milwaukee. Greg has it kind of right on that new total, so hopefully he got the best. Hopefully went under when it was at 153. D Money likes South Dakota State. And Nunya likes Mount St. Mary's plus the points against Drexel today. How about that? Next up, you have Seton Hall taking on Providence. Seton Hall's taking the steam here right now, or earlier. It's down to 1.5, maybe even 1 here right now, as Seton Hall is taking a little bit of the money. The total here is currently dropping lower here to 153.5, maybe 153 right now. Seeing a little bit of a movement here to the under in this one, but I don't know. I think I might trust that move on Seton Hall here. I know I'm probably not getting the best of it right now. It was +3, now down to +1.5 with these two. But I think Seton Hall can actually win this game. I think the widely reported steam did come in here on Seton Hall. They're 10-1 coming in. Total actually bouncing back up here right now. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one either. I'm going to take Seton Hall here in this one. Give me Seton Hall to win here over Providence. Seton Hall comes in on a 4-game winning streak here right now. Wins over Washington State, Central Connecticut, Kansas State, and Rutgers. They've covered 4 out of their last 5. They're 4-0 against the spread on the road, 3-0 against the spread. Well, now they're the favorite. Providence, anyway, 7-5 against the spread, 4-2 against the spread at home. But I'm going to take Seton Hall in this one against Providence tonight. Providence has won 3 straight meetings between these conference foes. However, Seton Hall covered the spread in those games. Providence was a favorite. Seton Hall ended up getting the money in those games. So they actually Seton Hall has the spread dominance in this series against them. They're 10-1. Seton Hall's 10-1 straight up and 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 against Providence. Both teams have been kind of going over, and that's why I thought maybe it'd be a higher scoring game. But Providence 9-3 to the over overall, and 5-1 against to the over at home. But right now, just right this second, the steam is coming in on the under in this game. I knew that thing was fluctuating there. It was 154.5, but it's 153 right now at Bovada. This is pretty much a move to the under, just reported by the line service. But I'll just take Seton Hall while this thing is moving around right now on the total. Give me Seton Hall in this one. All right, and we've got, Seton Hall here for Robert D. Money says wrong team's favorite. Take Seton Hall. Bars on Seton Hall. Robert likes the under. Greg says he likes Providence to cover here. Also, Justin's on Seton Hall over. Greg says Temple money line against yesterday. That was yesterday's game, yeah. Terrell, Seton Hall money line. Seton Hall's only loss was at USC, and USC, despite the injuries there, still looking pretty good this year. A strong contender for sure. All right, yeah, I'm taking Seton Hall now. Oh. Foot cramp here in the morning. All right. Yeah, Nunya says these games have been kind of wild. We're on the air here, so we report those moves to you, and hopefully you guys get the best of the moves here a little bit. But I'm trying to make sure you guys stay on top of it. I'll sacrifice getting on some of these moves for you guys to have the best information. How about this one? Tulsa taking on Western Kentucky. Tulsa comes in here. They're 10-1 coming in this one. Western Kentucky 7-3. Tulsa's on a roll here, of course. Wins here, coming off a win over New Mexico State at home. Pine Bluff win and cover at home. Missouri State a win and cover at home. Northern Iowa win and cover at home. They were doing it, but here they're hitting the road. Still, they're 8-1 against the spread overall, 5-1 against the spread as a favorite, and they are favored here. That steam kind of came in on Tulsa here, kind of driving it up. Western Kentucky's good. I mean, they're 3-1 against the spread as a dog, 5-3 against the spread overall. They're undefeated at home so far this season. So you can't just write off a team like Western Kentucky. They're always good. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, moving from 158.5 down here to currently 157.5 here right now. It's actually steadied a little bit. Tulsa's 5-1 to the over as a favorite, but Western Kentucky is 1-3 to the under as an underdog. What gives here with these two tonight? Both teams are frequently been going over here short term of late. Tulsa, meanwhile, though, 7 straight covers right now here. But, man, I don't know. I just can't maybe get off Western Kentucky here, it seems like. Maybe I should just go with the total here in this one. Let me see what you guys have in the chat if you like this one. Tulsa and Western Kentucky here. I'm chasing this steam. I'm going under. I think the move came in on this on the under with the steam, and it really hasn't moved that much lower right now. Yeah, it was as high as 158, dipped to 156, and went back up. I'm going to go with the under here with Tulsa and Western Kentucky. All right. And I'm seeing a little bit of breaking news there. Tyler Seguin of Dallas, he's out for the season with a torn ACL. His return to play will be evaluated after the Olympic break. So tough blow there for Dallas as Seguin goes out with that right knee surgery here earlier this week, but they've just ruled him out for the rest of the season, I guess, to be on the safe side. Just seeing that pop up there on the chat. I know that was a little bit of older news with that injury, but looks now to be updated here today. Okay. All right. A few comments from the chat here. Tulsa for Robert. Terrell says Tulsa money line. Tulsa's 10-1, just like Seton Hall, and their only loss was K-State. How about that? Tulsa in the over, no defensa. And New Mexico State. After the game, after the Mexico State game, Nunez confident in Tulsa. Otherwise, they've had a weak schedule. I think that's what he said. All right, I got a couple more here. Then we're going to go to a 5-game hockey card. Good card here tonight on a Friday night. Villanova and Wisconsin. This is game 2 of the event there at the Fiserv Center, the Wisconsin basketball event. You got Milwaukee, kind of a host team, and the Badgers here hosting good teams. So Wisconsin here are going to be a big favorite or a reasonable favorite against Villanova here tonight. Wisconsin comes in here 7-3. Villanova 8-2, but Wisconsin is favored in this one by about 5 or so. Total 150.5. Like I said, this one in Milwaukee. Wisconsin comes in here 5-3 against the spread as a favorite. Villanova 7-3 against the spread overall. Wisconsin's 6-2 to the over as a favorite. Villanova's 0-2 to the under here as a dog. See what you have here in this one. The Villanova obviously coming in with a better record, but they are 0-2 straight up as an underdog so far this season. And like I said, the spread here about 5 here in this one. So let's see what you got here, if anything, with these two. Kind of maybe just go with the favorite here. Let's see if you guys have anything in the chat in this one right now with the Milwaukee. I'm sorry, with the Wisconsin laying it here in Milwaukee. Villanova is 7-3 against the spread. They've been on a good run here with these winning ways. They did lose to Michigan, of course, by 28 points, but did bounce back with a win and cover against Pitt. They also won and covered against Big Five foes Temple and Penn State. For Wisconsin, meanwhile, they come in off that 30-point loss at Nebraska, although they did beat Northwestern for a conference win, 85-73. They also won and covered against Marquette, ironically enough. Where's Marquette in this event? Anyway, they started conference play, I guess. Let's see what you have, though, in this one between Villanova and Wisconsin. Villanova's got a pretty good offense for sure, but Wisconsin also, remember, this is not your typical Wisconsin, right? I mean, they've been an over team this season, 7-3 to the over. We know that, usually we think of Wisconsin, we think of the slow down game, but not anymore. All right, I'm going over. I think I just talked myself into it. Give me the over in this one with Villanova and Wisconsin. Probably should have taken the favorite, but all right, let's see what you got. VAR maybe was on the VAR's on the under here. Justin with Wisconsin. Terrell says, good. Just go with Big Ten home. I think Terrell's supposed to be just conference home teams, not just maybe it is Big Ten home teams too, though. You're right. Greg here. I think that's a vote for the dog, actually, for Greg, though, and the over. Robert likes the over. He also likes the Badgers here. And Greg says Wisconsin, yeah, they're still a good home team, no doubt about it. Here, but I'm going to take the over in this one. All right. Like Wisconsin. I took the over. All right. Here we go. One more in this one between. I got Belmont coming in here. Belmont against Irvine. And this one, let's see, Irvine here at -1. Now they're -2. -2, total 150. This one's moved higher for sure right now. It was 147 there sometime overnight, but now Irvine here, 2-point favorite. In this one, Irvine comes in 7-4. The Bruins come in here 11-1. Irvine's won 4 straight, including wins over South Dakota State, San Jose State, Riverside, and Northridge. For the Bruins here, meanwhile, they come in off of a win over Evansville. They did not cover, laying 8.5. They also beat UIC 87-84, but we're laying 12.5. Irvine, despite this winning record so far of 7-4, is just 3-6 against the spread. Meanwhile, for Belmont, that 11-1 record, 4-0 straight up on the road. But Belmont 4-1 against the spread on the road. UCI 2-5 against the spread at home, 3-6 against the spread overall. So let's see what you have here, though. Irvine's kind of taking the move against Belmont here, but Belmont's got a very strong record. And look, this Belmont team is pretty great year in, year out. But Irvine's had their own share of good run here of late. Let's see how you have it here. I kind of want to take Irvine despite this poor spread record, to be honest. But we can make your call here in the chat here, possibly. And see how you guys have it here. Okay. And we've got VAR here. He's on the under. R. Thompson's on the under. Greg says he likes Belmont here. And Robert likes the under as well. I'm taking Cal Irvine. I know I'm bucking the trends here in this one, but I'm going to trust the move here and go with UCI at home. This feels like it's going to be actually kind of an underrated game. Give me Irvine tonight. I'll lay 2 points at home with these guys. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now. Oh, look at Terrell says Irvine beat Belmont a year ago. They're on the home and home there. It was 92-84. He said Irvine got the win at Belmont. So how about that, huh? All right. And that's it for the college basketball here. It's a good card. There's some good late action as well, including it on the West Coast. But let's get moving here. We got 5 games in the NHL, and I'm thinking we want to get out of here before that bowl game starts. So let's take a look at the hockey here tonight. 5-game card on the ice. And good card. Go to it here. Got about 20 minutes for those early starts here. All right. That's what time's that first game, Ramon? Let's go. All right. Going to keep it moving here right now and take a look at the matchup between the Hurricanes here taking on the Panthers. It looks like Bussy's going to get the start for the Hurricanes. And, man, this guy's been going on here, it feels like, right now with Bussy. A good addition here for the Hurricanes right now. Carolina comes in here 22-9-2. They're definitely on a roll. And let me squeeze one steam move in here with college basketball, Norfolk and Jackson State. Seeing some steam here to the over in this one with these two teams. Over 137-ish, it looks like here right now with Norfolk and Jackson State. It was, these lines actually were late to market here in these two this series of games being played over the last couple of days here in College Park, Georgia. So I don't even have the line out yet, but we are seeing the steam come in on the over here. It was 137.5. It opened 134.5. I didn't even have the openers on these because of the timing of it. And now it's up to 139. Just a huge move here on Norfolk Jackson State. Steam to the over in this one. Wow. All right. And let me get that other spread out too in this game. So Norfolk they opened a 7-point favorite. They're down to 5. And in the earlier game, Grambling and Hampton, it was here. Hampton opened 1.5, 137.5, and Hampton went up to 2, but not much movement on the total there. Okay. Let's check the goalies here with our action here on the ice on Friday. And yeah, it looks like Bussy could be in there today. Man, he's 11-1 right now. He's really been, these young goaltenders that have been coming up have just been impossible. Bob comes in 14-8-1, 2.8 goals against, 88.5% save percentage. Bussy has a 91% save percentage. And if he's going to be in there, wow, Carolina is up to $1.30 here right now. And the total 6 under 15. It's definitely a 6 in there, and I don't know. I feel like if Bussy's going to be in there, that's going to really add to the complexion of this game as a possible under. It feels like for me in this one. Let's see how you guys have it here, though, with Carolina here taking on Florida. Carolina's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, and Florida has gone under, I think, in 4 of their last 5 coming in. So I'm going to take the under in this one between Carolina and Florida here. I'm going to go under 6 goals with these two. Florida's 2-4 to the under as a dog. They're definitely a dog here now. Meanwhile, Carolina 6-10 to the under on the road. So I'm going to go under in this one with Carolina and Florida here on Friday. All right, next up. Yeah, the Canucks are on the road here, taking on the Islanders. NHL action for Friday. You got Vancouver coming in here 13-7-3. The Islanders come in here 19-12-3. Islanders have won 3 of their last 4, coming in off of a loss to Detroit. Little steam coming in here right now. We got to get this one out there. It looks like Florida State. They're getting steam big time in their game against Mississippi Valley. They opened 39.5. They went up to 41.5. Forget about it. You're going to almost lay 6 touchdowns now here with Florida State's a basketball game, by the way. But Florida State here is up to 43 right now at some of these offshore books. This one's moved considerably, about 3.5 or 4 points from the opener. Florida State just taking that steam here right now against Mississippi Valley in that one. All right, let's keep it moving here right now with the Canucks here on the road, taking on the Islanders, about $1.45 now. Maybe down to $1.35 or so, and the total 5.5 under at -20, maybe -25, and man, it just feels like it's continuing to go lower here right now. These two teams aren't necessarily hardcore under teams. In fact, you got Vancouver 19-14 to the over, 14-11 to the over as a dog. Meanwhile, the Islanders are 10-8 to the over at home and 8-4 to the over as a favorite. But let's see here with Demko and Sorokin confirmed here. Demko 7-5, 2.45 goals against. Sorokin 12-9-2 with a 2.52 goals against. So I think this one has more of a chance to go under here with these two. Let's see what you guys think in the chat. Canucks here and the Islanders, first meeting of the season between these two teams coming in. Man, Islanders 10-6 at home, 19-12-3 overall. Vancouver 10-15 straight up as a dog. I'm going to go under in this one with Vancouver and the Islanders today. Yeah. See what we got in the chat. If anything here, a little bit light on the hockey comments here. It feels like, huh? All right. There's Jake Parma. Yeah, we talked about it, Jake, in that early bowl game. I took Western Michigan. Yeah, I took Western Michigan. Timothy here on the under. We're going to get out of here in just a minute, too, and get to the game. So, VAR went under there. Timothy says 15 straight games, at least 7 goals between the Canucks and the Islanders. Oh, man. Should have told me that before I made the pick. Yeah, these two teams, a long history of overs between the two. Vancouver has gone under, though, in 8 of their last 9 and 5 straight on the road. The Islanders are 4-13 of the under in their last 17 games. Remember, they started off all overs, it seemed like, and has been a rash of unders ever since. The Islanders have won 5 straight at home, 6 of their last 8 overall. Vancouver still dropped 12 of their last 17. Let me keep it moving here right now so we get out of here for the games here. Robert liking the under as well. Here we go with the Devils taking on the Jazz. God. One a show. I've got to have the wrong sport reference. Devils and the Mammoth here in this one with the Mammoth here 17-16-3. Devils come in 19-14-1 in this one. Devils have been alternating wins and losses here of late, coming in a win over Vegas 2-1 on the road. Vegas, New Jersey here 19-14-1 overall. 8-6 as an underdog. They've been a good dog, but this is going to be a tough game, I think, for them coming in against the Mammoth. Devils coming in here just feels kind of like a tough matchup. Vancouver, New Jersey here, they've gone under in 6 of their last 8 games, including 4 of their last 6 on the road. This series has gone under in 9 of the last 13 meetings. That's basically, though, 7 years of sample size. New Jersey, 5-2 straight up in the last 7 meetings against this franchise, including some good road performances against this team, including 3-1 here last year. Let's see what we got here with the Devils and the Mammoth. I'm expecting Markstrom and Belmelka in this one. I might just take. Let's see what you got. Let's hear from you guys in the chat in this one. I'm taking the Mammoth. Let me just take the Mammoth here in this one between the Devils and the Mammoth. I'll take them as a favorite at minus $1.35 or so right now. I'm gonna take Utah. I'm not sure about the total here just yet. Gonna need a little further investigation here. All right, in the chat we got our Tom's on the Mammoth. Yeah, everybody's on the Mammoth. Okay, I should have went with the total. I'm glad you guys are all on the Mammoth. I'm gonna take the Mammoth here as well. I think we know by now New Jersey's pretty decent, but Utah definitely plays better at home, 8-5 this season. VAR likes the over in this one. Yeah, Utah 8-6 to the over at home. New Jersey 8-6 to the over as a dog. All right, a couple more here on the ice, and the show's over. Jets and Abs. Ooh, look! Oh, here we go with the Abs again. Just $2.50 right now. Is that all? Almost a discount. Total 6 over 15 in this one with the Jets coming in. Jets are 15-16-2, but they've lost 2 straight here right now to St. Louis and Ottawa. The Jets are just 1-8 straight up as an underdog. I mean, they're obviously a huge underdog here, but you got to look to the puck line, of course, where Colorado's 18-14 is a puck line favorite. Winnipeg 5-4 as a puck line underdog here. So, I know Colorado's racked up the puck line wins here a little bit, but still, you try to look for spots. Maybe I know the money is it's overwhelming on Colorado. I'm not sure I can talk anybody off of this Colorado team coming in, but what do you guys think here in this one with Winnipeg and Colorado, especially considering, Winnipeg's won 3 of the last 4 meetings between the two teams. They haven't met yet this season, but Winnipeg won here in Colorado last time they were here 3-2 last January. So let's see in the chat. Anybody here interested in this one? Robert likes the over. Art Tomps likes the over as well. They're on the over here with this one. Man, Colorado's been unbelievable, but I'm going to take Winnipeg here to stay in there. I'm going to take the Jets on the puck line here in this one. Jets on the puck line here are at +1.5 at minus $1.25. I'm going to try the Jets. All right, one more, and the show is
Major
over.
lineman.
Stars and Ducks here tonight in Anaheim. Look, you don't get a Stars game very often at 6.5. I know the the Ducks are a big-time over team, and we just saw, don't forget, Tyler Seguin out for the season. I know he wasn't going to play in this, in this game, but we did get that announcement this morning with that knee injury. So I don't know. Will this one adjust? He wasn't going to play anyway. So, but look, DeSmith is in there. That's another reason here. You don't have Ottinger, so I guess that's another factor here for this one. But I still got to go under. I'm getting a Stars game at 6.5. Yeah, the Ducks have the speed. This is what they're kind of known for here at this point. But still, I'm going to go under here in this one with Dallas and Anaheim. Good game here, obviously. Dallas 23-7-5, Anaheim 20-12-2. Look at the totals, though, for Dallas, of course, 12-16 to the under here as a favorite. And also, the under's hit in 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams, including 6 of the last 7 meetings in Anaheim between the two. And Dallas has gone under in 6 of their last 9 overall. So I'm going under here. I'm sure that even the cappers are probably going to take the over, but I'm going to take the under. Art Thompson is going to as well. Timothy Hawk says take the Ducks on the money line tonight. Win this one over Dallas. All right. Dallas is one of the best road teams for sure here right now. 12 wins on the road so far this season. They've been hard to stop for sure. Dallas 12-2-4 on the road. They're up 4.25 units on the road. But hey, Anaheim still tied for first with Vegas. They're 11-4 at home so far. So why not? But I'll take the under in this one. All right, that's going to do it here for the morning steam. And let's hear from Mikey. We'll get on out of here, do the drawing, and let's go watch some football here in a basketball game about to start. Let's get off the air here and settle into our sports betting Friday. Let's hear from Mikey.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
I messed up the whole ad there by leaving the comments and the graphic on there, but sorry about that, Mikey. But hey, we got a drawing here right now. Let's see who's going to win and get us out of here. Here comes the winners. Back tomorrow, more morning steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Get you ready for the big Saturday, man. It's going to be a huge Saturday as well. Wow. D-Money, thank you for your support. I'll extend your subscription for a month if you're not currently signed up, or if it ran out, use the promo code WINNER. You're back in with me. Get more picks from me, everybody. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network, by subscribing to the picks over at winnable.com. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Really appreciate it. Be back tomorrow. Don't forget, Mikey Money joins you here today, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, with pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action here on Friday night. That's going to do it here for the morning steam and for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
We make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.